I'm making these 2 Pokeballs out of trash. Yep, you heard that right. I'm going to show you how to reuse those empty mini brands ball capsules. We are going to make 2 Pokeballs, the original classic Pokeball and the Great Ball. But not any ordinary Pokeballs, we're gonna make them Disco.
We are at Dollar Tree to get our supplies because one of our goals in this video is to make these Pokemon Disco Balls for under $3. This is such a good deal at Dollar Tree, only $1.25 each.
The other goal is to successfully recycle our trash, aka our empty mini brands capsules. Truth be told, I have too many of them.
There's something so addicting about mini brands. You just never know what you're going to get.
And they have themed ones from Target mini brands, Sanrio mini brands. I love mini brands and I can't get myself to throw them away. So I really want this to work. We are also testing 2 methods of coloring the disco tiles to see which method is better and which method looks better. We are going to use alcohol ink and we are going to test permanent markers, which sounds weird, but I heard it actually works.
By the way, did you know at Dollar Tree you can find posters of popular movies and shows, like this Pokemon poster? It's time to test the first method. We will be coloring our disco tiles with alcohol ink. We will need makeup sponges, alcohol inks, alcohol, disco tiles, brown disco tiles, and of course our empty mini brands capsules. I will link everything you need in the description below. Let's prep our space in case the ink gets messy. We are going to make a small hole on the top of our mini brands capsule. This is to help you hang up your disco balls. You can cut the hole with an X-Acto knife or a drill bit. I personally prefer the drill bit method. We are going to thread a ribbon through the hole. You don't have to do this, but I added a bead on the inside of the capsule to help the ribbon stay put. You can simply double or triple knot the ribbon to make sure your knot is bigger than your hole, so your ribbon doesn't slide through. Make a loop on the top and either tie it or use hot glue like me to secure it. Next, I'm going to secure the 2 halves of the capsule by adding glue on the sides before snapping them back together. Wipe off any excess glue. I am going to wipe the mini brands capsule with alcohol to wipe off any grease and oils from touching it. Cleaning it with alcohol will also help the adhesive on the disco tiles adhere better. I am going to glue the round disco tile in the center of the capsule. This will be my guide of where the center of the Pokeball is. This is nice because there is adhesive in the back. The Michaels pack I got does not have adhesive, so you have to add your own adhesive on that. I use hot glue gun. Now it's time to color our disco tiles black to mimic that line that wraps in the middle of the Pokeball. But one issue. I accidentally got alcohol ink that's metallic. I am not sure how this is going to turn out. This isn't exactly black. They call it rich coal, so we shall see how that is. I'm a little nervous. This is my first time doing it. Scrub your disco tiles before coloring them by wiping alcohol on them. Put on gloves in case the ink gets on your hand. Here we go. Wait, do we have to cut it? Oh, I think we do have to cut it. Okay. We'll just see. We'll just test this. Is that how you do it? And then people say you just pat it. Ooh. This is not what I imagined. It's giving like a dark brown. I feel like I'm going to have to order regular dye. I don't know, should I be spreading it? Spreading the metallic? I'm not sure. That doesn't look right to me. Ugh, I don't know. I don't feel like moving forward with this. It doesn't seem right. I think the metallic makes it a lot harder to work with, and this doesn't even look like black. I am going to order regular alcohol ink that is not metallic. So we shall to be continued. Gonna order it. After yesterday's debacle with the metallic alcohol ink, I am now at Michael's to pick up regular alcohol ink. Hopefully this works a lot better. We are back with regular non-metallic alcohol ink. I'm going to color the disco tiles black that are on the seams of the Pokeball. The ink is kind of hard to work with. It also can get messy. I know I can easily clean the ink around the areas I don't want the color shown, but it's just an extra step I prefer not to do. After coloring it black, I'm going to finish adding disco tiles to the Pokeball. I finished disco ink. I did the top half of the Pokeball. It just makes it tough because of this shape right here. if we did not have this middle piece, everything would have gone way more smoothly. But it's a Pokeball, you need the middle part, and we're just gonna work our way around it. Right now, it might be a pain in the butt, but I know it'll be worth it when we get a shiny new Disco Pokeball. For some areas that didn't fit a single disco tile, I did make adjustments. I cut some of the disco tile pieces with scissors so it can fit in the empty spots. Make sure to be careful when cutting. Now it's time for the red ink for the top of the Pokeball. Once the ink dried, I was not too fond of how it looked. It might be hard to see here, but I didn't like the look of the white capsules shown in between the red tiles. So I decided to take off the tiles and color the capsule red with permanent marker. It was a mess. If there is anything to learn from me, it is to color the base of your mini brand's capsule to hide the white base. To help it stick to the capsule, I used craft glue. Some of the glue dried on top of the tiles, so I had to fix that. When I wiped the glue off, I also took off the red ink. I had to add the red ink on again. It felt like deja vu. There was a lot of trial and error for this disco ball. After I finished adding the red ink again, I ended up just using black permanent marker for the middle of the Pokeball. I'm glad I did because it looks darker and bolder, which is what I envisioned. Let's test the Sharpie method. Don't need these gloves anymore. Oops. Some people recommend using permanent markers to color the disco tiles. We are going to compare which one looks better. Permanent markers to color your disco tiles or alcohol ink. If you don't have permanent markers, you can also grab some at Dollar Tree when you pick up the disco tiles. We are going to repeat what we did with the first mini brand's capsule. This time, I did not use a bead with my ribbon. Instead, I tied a simple double knot inside the capsule and then threaded the ribbon to the other side. It works because my double knot was bigger than the small hole on the top. If there's anything I learned from this Pokemon Disco DIY is to always color your mini brand capsule first to match whatever color your disco tiles will be. My goal here is to make sure you don't see any white spots between the tiles. This is why I'm coloring the mini brand's capsule first, then adding disco tiles on top. Once I do that, I color my tiles with permanent marker. Honestly, I'm liking it so far. The permanent marker is super easy to color with. Next, I will be coloring the top half red with my permanent marker before adding my disco tiles. I wish I spray painted this, but I don't have red spray paint right now, so I'm just using a permanent marker for this. I found the best way to add my disco tiles is to work around the middle circle of the Pokeball. I got antsy and wanted to test try the permanent markers on the disco tiles, so I started coloring them. It's optional, but if you want to cut any of the disco tiles to fit in any empty spots, you can easily cut with scissors. Just be careful when cutting. After coloring the disco tiles red on top, I added disco tiles on the bottom to finish this Pokeball. This is how the Pokeball turned out with the permanent marker method. Do you think this method looks better than the first method of using alcohol ink? Time to make our final Pokeball. I decided to do method 2 and color it with permanent markers. It's easier to use, and I like how bold the colors are when using permanent markers. One of the key features of the Great Ball are these 2 red lines on top. I laid out my disco tiles first to see how I would make the 2 red lines, before adding it to the capsule. Then I filled up my Pokeball with disco tiles. After doing this for the 3rd time, it definitely got easier to make these Pokemon Disco Balls. There were lots of trial and error, but now I am confident that I can make more Pokeballs. I hope this video inspires you to also make a Pokeball or two, because in the end, the Disco Balls came out so beautiful. You too can turn these mini brand capsules that would have been trash into beautiful Pokemon Disco Balls. Make sure to hit the subscribe button to see another easy DIY that will make you say, I can make that too, because I know you can.